Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Focus Activity 8 to 10. I am Peter, and I will be doing this lesson, okay? Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Focus Activity 8 to 10. I am Peter, and today we are discussing hobbies. Okay, hobbies. Oh, this lesson is 50 minutes. Okay, 50 minutes for the one focus activity. Okay, if you have any questions, please write in the comments section and I can try and answer the questions for you. Okay, well, let's begin. Okay, today we describe our hobbies, okay? So the language of adjectives for our different hobbies. We discuss the present perfect continuous and the present perfect simple, okay? And the differences of how to use them and when to use them, okay? And for and since, okay? So for duration and since for the start date, okay? Okay, let's begin. What is your current hobby? When did you decide to take it up? Do you tend to start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Are there any activities you used to do but don't do anymore? Why did you stop? And are you an adrenaline junkie? Okay. Number one, what is your current hobby? And when did you decide to take it up? Okay. Oh, my current hobby is football. Okay. My current hobby is football. So it's a hobby is a pastime. Okay. So to take up, what is to take up? Take up is to start or to begin. Okay. To start or to begin. So when did you decide to take it up? I decided to take up football when I was 3 years old. Football is my life. I always play football. Okay. If you have any questions, please write in the comments section and I can try and answer for you. Okay. Well, number one, what is your current hobby? And when did you decide to take it up? My current hobby is football, and I took it up at the age of 3. Okay. So, number two, do you tend to start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Okay. So, do you tend to start a lot of hobbies? In this context, tend is like it's like the adverb of frequency usually. So, do you tend to start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Do you usually start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Okay. So, in this context, tend is the same as usually. Okay. Form, I tend to. I tend to play football on Wednesdays. I usually play football on Wednesdays. Okay. Do you tend to start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Personally, I do not tend to start a lot of hobbies. I practice the same hobbies of my childhood. I play football, I do exercise, I go swimming, I go running, I read. I do the same hobbies. If I start a new hobby, sometimes I get bored quickly, but it depends. What about you? Do you tend to start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Please write your answers in the comment section. Okay? Write your answers in the comment section and we can see what different hobbies we all do. Okay? For me, the hobbies are football, reading, exercise. Okay? Do you tend to start a lot of hobbies but get bored quickly? Number 2. Okay. Number 3. Are there any activities you used to do but don't do anymore? Why did you stop? Okay. Used to, in this context, used to is used to describe past habits. Okay. Past habits. For example, are there any activities you used to do but don't do anymore? I used to um, play rugby, but I don't play rugby now. Okay, I used to in the past. I played rugby, but now I don't play anymore. Okay. So used to is to describe past habits. Okay? Used to describe past habits. Why did you stop? For me, I stopped playing rugby because in England, rugby is very popular. But in Spain, where I moved, rugby is not very popular at all. And in Italy, rugby is not as popular as football. So I stopped. What about you? What activities did you used to do, but you don't do now? And why did you stop? Please feel free to write your answers in the comment section and we can see what hobbies that you did in the past. Okay? So are there any activities you used to do but don't do anymore? And why did you stop? Okay. Number 4. Are you an adrenaline junkie? Okay, an adrenaline junkie. What is an adrenaline junkie? What is an adrenaline junkie, do we think? What do you think an adrenaline junkie is? An adrenaline junkie is a person who, okay, wow, yay. So I used to play piano until I was 18 years old. Perfect. Lovely example. Well done, Alessandra. And Nadia, I used to row, but now my free time is limited because of my job. I know the feeling. Okay. Lovely examples. Really, really good answers. Well done, Alessandra and Nadia. Number 4, an adrenaline junkie. An adrenaline junkie is someone who searches for, who looks for thrills, who looks for excitement. Okay? An adrenaline junkie is a person who searches for excitement. Okay? So, an adrenaline junkie does activities like skydiving and bungee jumping and rock climbing. Okay, dangerous activities and dangerous hobbies. Adrenaline junkies do dangerous hobbies. Okay, so are you an adrenaline junkie, and why or why not? Personally, I am sometimes an adrenaline junkie. Okay. Mauro, I used to play football, but now all sport activities have stopped. Mauro, I completely understand. I am exactly the same. Okay. I used to play football, but now I can't play football at the moment. But are you an adrenaline junkie? Do you look for excitement? Or are you not an adrenaline junkie? What do you think? Personally, I am a little bit of an adrenaline junkie because I like to try new activities like bungee jumping and skydiving, but I don't search for them. Okay, types of sports that make you an adrenaline junkie, uh, bungee jumping. So when you jump from a very high place and okay. Um, Another one is skydiving. So you're on a plane, okay, and you jump out with a parachute, okay. Oh, sports related to adrenaline junkies are dangerous sports. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So, adrenaline junkie when you go on holiday. This is exactly me as well. During my normal life, I do not search for adrenaline. I don't search for, in English, we say a rush. Okay, a rush. I don't search for a lot of excitement. But when I'm on holiday, I do. Okay? Okay. If you have any questions, please write in the comment section and I can answer to the best of my ability. Okay? Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Interests. Match the words to the categories. The categories are adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, and sports. Okay, so an adrenaline junkie is a person who searches for excitement from activities. Okay, leisure, things that you do in your free time. Okay, sports, we know what sports are because we are level 8 to 10. Okay. And outdoorsy is an adjective to describe activities that you do in the countryside or in the forest or in the mountains. Okay. Okay. So the first one, Let's see. Hunting. What do we think hunting is? Do we think hunting is adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? What do we think? Hunting, adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? Please write down in the comment section your guess. Hunting, adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? Okay. Hunting is outdoorsy. Okay. Hunting is outdoorsy. Okay. Outdoorsy, out activities that you practice in the wilderness. So in the countryside, in the woods. Okay. Outdoorsy. Okay. Activities you do in the mountains, in the forest, in the countryside. Okay. Okay. What about skydiving? Skydiving. Skydiving, when you're in a plane and you jump from the plane. Okay. So this is the plane and you. Okay. What do we think skydiving is? Is skydiving adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? Okay, well done, Mauro, and well done, Raisa, I think. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly. Okay, well done, Nadia. Yeah, okay, everyone, well done. Oh, skydiving, adrenaline junkie. Yeah, well done. Rowing. What do we think rowing is? Is rowing a sport, a leisure, an outdoorsy, or adrenaline? What do we think for rowing? What do we think for rowing? Rowing is a sport. Okay. Rowing is a sport. Okay. So, a clue for sport. If the activity is in the Olympics, it's most likely a sport. Rowing is a sport. Yeah. If it's in the Olympics, it is recognized as a sport. So rowing is a sport. Okay. Fishing. What do we think fishing is? Is fishing adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? So fishing, is it adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? Fishing? Okay, leisure. Ooh, leisure, outdoorsy. Okay. Two different answers from a few people. Okay. Let's see. Fishing, outdoorsy. Okay. Outdoorsy, something that you practice in the countryside, in the forests, okay, in the mountains, okay. Fishing, it's both leisure and outdoorsy, but it is more associated, it is closer to outdoorsy than to leisure. Okay. Oh, an activity is outdoorsy if you practice it in the mountains, the countryside, um, forests. Okay. Okay. Next one. Collecting. Okay. So collecting is a synonym for gathering. Okay. So for example, collecting stamps or collecting football stickers or collecting cards. Okay. What do we think for collecting? Is collecting adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nice answers. Okay. Collecting is leisure. Okay. So leisure is associated with easy activities. Okay. Easy in the context of not physically demanding. Okay. Kayaking. Kayaking with the boats where you. Okay. What do we think for kayaking? Is kayaking adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? What do we think? Kayaking. Kayaking. What do we think? Okay. Interesting. Is kayaking a difficult one? Okay, so we have sport and outdoorsy. Okay, let's see. Kayaking is outdoorsy. Okay. Kayaking is it's more outdoorsy. Okay. It is it might technically be a sport, but it's more an activity you associate with the countryside, with rivers. Okay, so we think of it as an activity that is outdoorsy. Okay, so kayaking is not quite. Okay, kayaking is in the Olympic Games, so technically it is a sport, but in general we describe kayaking as outdoorsy. Gardening. Gardening. What do we think for gardening? Which category is gardening for? Gardening? What do we think? Which category? Gardening is leisure. Okay. Gardening is leisure. Okay. It's something we do as an easy activity. Okay. Paddleboarding. Okay. Paddleboarding. What do we think for paddleboarding? What do we think paddleboarding is? Okay. What is paddleboarding? Paddleboarding is when you stand vertically and you row. Okay. You move in the water. Okay. It's like rowing, but you are standing. You are vertical. Okay. So what do we think? Is paddleboarding adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy, leisure, or sport? Okay. What do we think for paddleboarding? Oh, paddleboard? Oh, bowling. Oh, bowling? Sorry, I didn't see the one on the bottom. Bowling is the where you throw the ball and you hit the pins. Okay, bowling is leisure. Okay, paddleboarding. Okay, so three different answers. Okay, so sport, adrenaline junkie, outdoorsy. What do we think for paddleboarding? Paddleboarding is a sport. Okay. Paddleboarding is a sport because you can only paddleboard when the water is very calm. Okay. You paddleboard when the water is calm. Okay, because you need to stand. Okay. So paddleboarding, a sport. Bungee jumping. What do we think bungee jumping is? What category for bungee jumping? Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. It was just the something wrong with StreamYard, but okay. Sorry about that. Apologies. The next one, bungee jumping. What do we think? Bungee jumping? Okay, well done. Adrenaline junkie. Okay. Windsurfing. What do we think of windsurfing? Okay. Windsurfing, when you the activity where you uh, stand and you need to pull and use the wind to move in the water with a big something to catch the wind. Okay. What do we think for windsurfing? Windsurfing a sport, outdoorsy, adrenaline junkie, or leisure? What do we think? Okay, windsurfing. Windsurfing is difficult. Windsurfing is a sport. Okay. Windsurfing is a sport. Okay. Oh, windsurfing is a sport. Knitting. Do we know what knitting is? Knitting is, okay, when you imagine you have a hole in your clothes. If you knit, then you can repair the hole. Okay, knitting. Okay, it's associated when you have two long nail type things and you. Okay, so what do we think for knitting? Knitting, well done, everyone. Yeah, knitting is leisure. Okay, hiking. What is hiking? Hiking is when you walk up a mountain. Okay, hiking is when you walk up a mountain. So what do we think for hiking? Hiking, is it outdoorsy, leisure, sports, adrenaline junkie? What do you think? Okay, hiking is outdoorsy. Well done. Okay, paragliding. Paragliding. Paragliding is when you move in the air and you control if you go left or right by pulling down, and you have a parachute. So is it adrenaline junkie outdoorsy, leisure, or sports? What do we think? Leisure, outdoorsy, sports, or adrenaline junkie for paragliding? Okay. Paragliding, adrenaline junkie. Okay. You move in the air with a parachute and you go moving around like that. Okay. Fencing, the activity with swords. Okay. The activity with swords. Okay. Fencing. Fencing is a sport. Okay. Fencing is a sport with the swords. Okay. And the last one, rock climbing, where you have to climb up a mountain. Okay. What do we think for rock climbing? Rock climbing, adrenaline junkie. Okay. Because of the heights, because it is dangerous. Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, please write in the comment section and I can answer to the best of my ability. Okay. So rock climbing is an adrenaline junkie. Outdoorsy if it is only low height. If it's large height, adrenaline junkie. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Fill in the blanks with for, since, or the present perfect tense. Okay. Number 1. I have been running 3 years. What do we think? Hunting is when you look for animals and you, like in the film Bambi, the hunter is the person who shoots. Okay. So number one, what do we think? I have been running. Is it for or since? Okay. Okay. Number one, for. Okay. For is the duration. Since is the start date. Okay. Okay. I usually train with my friend. We run 10 half marathons and 1 marathon. We started. Okay, so what do we think? What do we think for number two? What do we think for number two? Okay, number two. Number two, we have run. Okay, we use the present perfect tense because it is an action that started in the past and continues in the present. Okay. Oh, run. Yeah, remember, third column for present perfect. Okay. And number three is since. Okay. Number three is since. Number four, I feel that I struggle with my training. What do we think? I feel that with my training. I feel that I have struggled. Okay. Have struggled. Okay. What about the next one? I don't like to run alone, but my friend. Okay. Okay. The last one. I don't like to run alone, but my friend not have time to train with me recently. Okay. So negative and third person. Okay. Negative and third person. I don't like to run alone, but my friend. Remember, present perfect tense. So my friend has not had or hasn't had. Okay. Okay. Number one. Okay. My friend hasn't because third person. Okay. Third person, irregular in English. Okay. So, number one, when do you use for and since? Okay, for is for the duration. Okay. For is for the duration. Since, the start date. Okay. Some synonyms for challenge and for goal. Some synonyms for challenge and goal are things like target, or things like ambition, objective. Okay, that's for goal. A challenge is a synonym could be an opportunity or an it can be things like an opportunity or an invitation or it could be, yeah, an opportunity or something like this. Okay, competition for a challenge. Yeah. So synonym for a challenge, opportunity, chance. Okay, synonyms for goals, target or objective. Okay. Number 3, what is the difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous? Okay. Present perfect we use for present perfect. The focus is on the completion of an activity. Okay, so for example, I have read 2 books since morning. Okay, the focus is on completion. The present perfect continuous, the focus is on continuity. Okay, so present perfect simple, completion. Present perfect continuous is on, focus is on the continuous action. Okay. Okay. So I'm writing it down for you in the comment section. Focus on continuity. So for example, I have read 2 books since morning. I've finished reading 2 books. I've been reading since the morning continuously, okay? Continuous action. Okay? If you have any questions, please feel free to write down in the comment section and I can try and help you. Okay? Okay. Let's continue. Okay, so number 1, how many years have you been doing your hobby? So we use the present perfect continuous. Okay, I have been playing football since I was 3 years old, or 4. I have played football, or I've been playing football for 24 years. Okay. 4, duration, since the start date. Okay. Number 2, have you been doing your hobby since you were a child? Okay. Since the start date, when I was a child. Okay. The beginning point, when I was a child. Yes, I have been doing my hobby since I was 3 years old. Okay. And number 3, what has been your biggest accomplishment since starting? My biggest accomplishment is to be fit. Okay. I want you to practice at home. How many years have you been doing your hobby? Okay. How many years have you been doing your hobby? Okay. If you want, you can write your answer in the comment section. Okay. How many years have you been doing your hobby? Remember to use for and since in your answer, okay? For example, I have been playing football since I was 3 years old, okay? Number two, have you been doing your hobby since I was a child? Since you were a child? Yes, I have been playing football since I was 3 years old, since I was a child. And what has been your biggest accomplishment since starting? My biggest accomplishment has been um, being a physically fit adult. Okay. Okay. If you have any questions, please write in the comments section and I can answer your questions. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. Oh. Number one. I've been dancing for 4 years. Nadia. Perfect answer. Lovely form of the present perfect continuous. Really, really good. Okay. Lovely answer. Okay. If you have any other answers, you can write down in the comment section. Okay. Number one, if you could go anywhere in the world to do your hobby, where would it be and why? Okay, so for me, my favorite hobby is football. Okay, if I could go anywhere in the world, I would go to Brazil because of the weather and because of the history with football. Okay. What about you? What would what is your hobby? And if you could go anywhere in the world and do your hobby, where would it be and why? Please feel free to write your answer in the comments section. Okay. Number two. If you could give someone advice about starting your hobby, what would it be? Okay, so all of these questions are in the second conditional. Okay, they are all hypothetical questions and answers. Okay. Okay, Alessandra, yes, it is right. I used to play volleyball for 4 years, but now I've been training every day at the gym. Okay, yeah, okay. Remember, but now I've been training every day at the gym. Okay, nice. Well done, Alessandra. Okay. Number two, if I could give any advice to someone starting my hobby, I would advise practice, practice, practice. Okay. If you enjoy a hobby, if you practice it, you become better. So my advice is practice, practice, practice. Okay. Number three. If you could meet someone famous who is or was an expert in your hobby, who would you want to meet? For me, if I could meet someone who is famous at football, I would meet Messi because he is the best at my preferred hobby. Okay. And the last question, number four. If you could start a new hobby, what would it be? Um, if I could start a new hobby, I would start um, swimming regularly because swimming is the best exercise. Okay. Okay. If I could give someone advice about starting um, the hobby, I would recommend to choose what makes you free and happy. Okay. A nice answer. Yeah. Okay. Lovely answer, Alessandra. Well done. Okay. Okay, so the language of today. Let's do a little revision. Okay, so a little revision. Okay, adrenaline junkie is a person who looks for, who does activities to feel excitement. Ooh, Mauro. Lovely answer. My favorite hobby is hiking, and if I could go anywhere, I would go to Nepal. Perfect answer, Mauro. Really nice. And Nadia, yeah, nice answer. I would suggest to stretch, essential if you do a sport. Okay, lovely answers. Very well done, everyone. Okay. So, an adrenaline junkie, a person who searches for excitement with their activities. Outdoorsy activities are activities you practice or you do in the countryside, the mountains, in forests, okay, by a lake, okay. Leisure, okay, these are relaxing activities, okay, they are not physically demanding activities, okay, and sports, we all know what sports are, okay, okay. So four is for duration, okay, and since is for the start date, okay. Some synonyms for challenge and goal are for challenge is opportunity or chance or task, and goal synonyms are objective or target. Okay. The difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. Present perfect focuses on the completion of an action. Present perfect continuous focuses on the continuity of the action. Okay. Okay. And yeah, that is it for today. My favorite hobby is painting, and if I could go anywhere, I would go to Paris. Sylvia, lovely answer. Really, really well done. Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. Okay. It was a nice lesson, and thank you so much for your comments and for your answers. Okay. You all did very, very well. Please keep doing the online lessons. Okay, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to write in the comment section. Okay, and I will try to answer your questions. Okay. Okay, paragliding is when you move in the air with a parachute. Parachute is the object that you use. Okay. Okay. So, thank you, everyone, and hopefully I will see you soon. Okay. Bye bye.